The Paula Show is on. The Paula Show. Come on, one and all. I extend an invitation to the Paula Show. Join in the conversation. Transforming behavior, recognizing our savior, overcoming hurdles, achieving dreams. Together we can succeed.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Paula Show. You must have heard about the recently held Leeward Islands debate competition in Antigua. Yes, and members from the Antigua State College are here with us tonight. They were finalists in the competition. Clap for yourselves, guys. You did a good job. And to demonstrate the reason why they made it to the finals, we're going to make sure that they give you a piece of the action tonight. We have some debating moods on set tonight, and they will be debating Epicurean Fine Foods and Pharmacy. They were so happy about the results for the debate that they donated a huge cake to the students on set tonight. And of course, we're going to have a party afterwards. Are you enjoying yourself so far on the Paula Show? I feel your energy. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Stay with us, please. Remember to watch the Paula Show via CTV Channel 2 on Tuesday nights at 9, and Sundays is a rebroadcast at 1 in the afternoon. The Paula Show inspires, entertains, and transforms behavior. Tonight it's all about the Antigua State College debating team. I love winners, and that's why I invited them back to the Paula Show. How does it feel to be finalists?
All right.
All right.
Feels
It
good.
feels okay, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay, Amar?
I mean, I had a really good feeling that, we would make it to the finals. I mean, I know we would make it to the finals. We did expect to win. However, we can't foretell the future, but we're still happy with the results.
Hey, where there is life, there's hope. You keep hoping, my son. And Jashida,
I feel good about it.
you feel good about it. When you were debating, guys, were you debating for yourself, the Antigua State College, or the nation of Antigua and Barbuda?
It's a combination of all of them.
Oh,
Yes, because you represent your college, and then
Yes.
because your country was hosting, you represent your country as well. And then in that comes self-development. So you're also doing the best that you can do.
you share her view?
Same, yeah.
Albert Einstein said, if you cannot explain it simply, then you don't understand it well enough. Is this true when debating a moot?
You have to target your audience, per se, because when you're doing a debate, you don't know, the different people, and they have, different levels of, maybe intelligence or understanding. So you cannot, say, you know what, I'm going to go up on stage, I'm going to, beat around the bush, then I'm going to get to my point. You have to get to your point regardless of your audience.
Okay, on the Paula Show tonight, I am going to ask them to demonstrate their debating skills. Dependency on tourism is timing the economic development of the Caribbean. Opposing or proposing? We start with the proposition.
Amma?
No.
Let me tell you something about life. And as a debater, you need to know this. You always have to be ready. You must always have a message. You have to think on your feet. You are opposing?
Yes. I feel as though tourism is not stymieing the economic development of the Caribbean region. I say this to say because we have tourism, and tourism is our main industry, and most of our revenue that is earned comes from tourism, and we are solely dependent on the tourism industry, that we need to ensure that we make it diverse. So for example, we have different events like Carnival. Those attract many tourists. We have other festivals and other festive seasons that we also have as well, that that brings in people to the country through either be ship or air. And that basically just sums up what I have to say about tourism.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Alicia?
I think tourism has potential, and I mean, we can clearly see that tourism does have benefits because we're reaping the benefits, but I think it comes back down into how we manage it. So I would like to believe we shouldn't throw away something that has benefits, But you know, you just need work on improving the product and work on like diversifying the economy, because that's where the problem really is. The fact that we're not, you know, developing other sectors. Tourism is just developing faster. But I think that tourism is a great industry. It's
So
viable.
is it wise for the entire Caribbean to be dependent upon tourism and we compete against each other? How much long is that sustainable?
I mean, competition is good.
Competition is good, yes, but
inevitable.
eventually, your product, my product, they're the same, or in some cases similar. What we do in some instances is that we discount our services, in order to appeal to the visitors, and then we're all losers.
That is true, but if we work on diversifying our economy, then that wouldn't really
Give me
be-
some options about diversifying.
Okay. Well, we know every time we hear diversify, we think of agriculture. And I mean, it is a valid
Is
point.
agriculture a bad thing?
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And I mean, technology is advancing. So when we hear agriculture, it's not you're out there breaking your back, bending over, doing manual work. What we can do is work together as a region, you know, invest in the equipment that we need, and then you improve your technology, you can improve your output, which means you're able to better supply, you know, yourselves. You can reduce your import bills. So
And when we increase the production levels, are we selling to our locals, or we are planning to export as well?
well, if we can export as well, that'd be great. But okay, let's use Antigua for example. We have pineapples. We grow our own black pineapples that we are always prideful about. But we import pineapples, and that's the pineapple you actually buy in the supermarkets, not your own. If you had better technology to improve your output, the government now can be like, okay, listen, we have enough pineapples here. We don't need to import. We even have enough to export. Then that's one thing that's cutting down.
Is that a good point? Yeah. You need to clap on that. So we're diversifying. That's a good option. We're diversifying. She spoke about agriculture. Where do you want to take us?
Well, I think that the other sector besides agriculture could be like the fishing industry. I mean, it is not like as, you know, known as how the tourism sector or the agriculture sector is. But I mean, like if we invest into it, there can be so many things that we can get just from marine life. I mean, like, for example,
You want to export conch and fish
yes. Well, those are for examples, because like we should export more than what we import, as she said, to reduce the import bill, because like most of our GDP does come from, well, our gross domestic product does come from tourism. However, if we find another alternative, another sector that can help us to, you know, to increase our export more than our import, that we can like help, even though we have to import some certain things, we can still help to pay off that import bill by what we export as well.
And we need to eat less chicken.
No.
And seafood
Right.
is more healthy than chicken. We're diversifying. Your point before we close this segment.
Well, we're an island and we're surrounded by water, so we can't just
Reverse osmosis, maybe?
the desalination plant. So we can't
Okay.
just, depend on the dam or the ponds or whatever evaporation or the rain. We have to do our own work. So the desalination plants that we have, we can use them for agriculture when we are diversifying.
Did anybody speak to technology?
I
Clothing and textiles? Assembly plants? You know, like a large company assembling their parts in Antigua.
feel like we limit ourselves. There's like when we hear of a new idea, we're always quick to look at the negatives, and it's not working right now. We don't like think long term.
I feel like that's the main predicament of the Caribbean, that we don't we don't offer incentives to different persons that will like keep them in that region.
So you're through with your studies at university,
Yeah.
and the brain drain continues
Yep.
because there's not sufficient opportunities here. So are you guys committing to reducing the brain drain?
I am.
Yes, I do.
So after you're through with university, you'll return to make a difference.
Yes, I would.
Take us through a day of preparation for the debate. One day.
I mean, the only day I can remember is like we had to go to, well, usually I don't know about my other colleagues, but I usually reach a college for like 8:30.
In the morning.
in the morning, and we stayed until like 2 o'clock the other morning.
Seriously?
Well, it wasn't for the whole entire day was in preparation because we had classes, but we started around like let's say 5 o'clock the day before. But
That's
I mean,
child abuse.
it wasn't child abuse. I mean, like we actually because we know that we wanted to win, and because we know that host country had to win, so we had to put everything into it. I mean, like yes, we know we were tired. Yes, we know that it was late in the morning, well, early in the morning, I should say. However, we knew that for a fact that we wanted to put ourselves in the upper echelons, that we didn't want to settle for second best.
So you're willing to get the work done in order to achieve success.
It'd be like that.
That's a smart attitude. You can go places in life with that attitude. It was the same for you. You were on the 2 o'clock shift as well.
Midnight shift.
Oh, midnight shift. That wasn't so bad. What about you?
I was there all the time. Midnight, 2 o'clock, all of that.
It's all about debating tonight, and I'm in the mood for this type of interaction. Tell me, my darlings, do you accept that private secondary schools are better for students than public secondary schools? Tell me your thoughts.
Oh, okay. Well, I went to Antigua Girls High School. So
Me too.
Probably a public school right there. I went to Mary Piggott, that's a public school again. And I think government schools, we do the best with what we have. And I think as students, because we lack certain resources in our public schools, when you learn to work with what you have, so you're better able to adapt. So we learn skills.
So at the Antigua Girls High School, I guess you had a lot of contented students.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I went to the Antigua Grammar School, St. Perrians, I was flourishing.
Okay.
But I realized that, well, there's always a controversy that they said that, private school would do better academically than what public schools would do. However, one should bear in mind that during, when Antigua usually releases their CSEC results overall for each secondary school, that public schools always dominate more than what private schools would do.
But what about the private school where the student undertook about 20 subjects?
Okay, you see, Miss.
Oh, it's just one?
Yeah.
Right. And see, the thing is too, well, I know for at least at high school, the problem with that, well, at least Mrs. Summers, she was coaching. She said, when you hear people doing these big subjects, you don't have to worry about the numbers, because at the end of the day, what you want to do is to focus on quality, right? I'm not saying that the private schools don't have quality, but what happens is that sometimes the subjects that you're doing, they overlap. So it's basically the same thing.
Integrated science, biology.
Right.
Chemistry.
If you're doing the
Chemistry.
single
Yeah.
sciences, as a single science student, it
Why
wouldn't make
you have
much
to do
sense to do integrated
science?
math.
Hello.
Right.
I personally believe that you undertake the subjects that will help you towards your career goals in life.
That's true.
Okay, I think it's unfair to compare the two schools.
Why?
Because first of all, you're working with different sets of resources, different schedules, and it's like putting all students in one bucket and expect each student to excel at the same pace. Some students are more into sports, some students are more into arts. I feel like it's an unfair comparison. Because at a private school, you have more time, let's say you have a small private school, the teacher will probably spend an hour or two with you if you don't understand. But in a public school now, then that teacher is teaching like 40 students at a time. She doesn't have the time to sit down with you. So it's not necessarily that you don't have the capabilities as that student, but that person was getting the extra help, whereas you would have to learn with what you are doing.
So then I am
unfair.
proposing then that we change the structure
Right.
of the public schools and maybe mimic some of the structures of the private schools. Why then place 40 students into one class?
I'm just saying.
No, I know, but there are schools where there are 40 students in one class.
Right.
Why not just separate the class? Why not have a maximum of 25? But then you see, one of the reasons why you may have these large classes, universal education, whether the child is gifted enough to pass common entrance or not, everybody is going through. So you have to make provisions for them within the school, right? So it's a lot of dynamics, and we won't all get it right. But at the end of the day, maybe the Ministry of Education officials need to revisit education in Antigua and Barbuda and be willing enough and be brave enough, be courageous enough to overhaul the entire system for the benefit of not only the students, but us parents who have to deal with all these inadequacies. I am so proud of these young people. And that is why at the Paula Show, I just give them a platform to express their views. We're not saying that they're always right. Neither might I be right. But at least we are bold enough to express our views. There are some persons who should be speaking, not saying anything. Silence is not a good thing when you're attempting to develop your country and your youth. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to your debating next year, and I look forward to you joining debating societies when you attend your various universities.
Of course.
You're off to
Right.
which university?
Yui, Mona.
And you?
Well, hopefully York University.
And you, my darling?
Second year college.
Yeah, but where are you going?
Oh.
You haven't planned? You don't have a
two things that
plan?
I want to do. I want to do pediatrics and I want to do radiology because they're not much radiologists in Antigua and Barbuda, and I want to do one to make a difference here.
All right. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. The Paula Show inspires, entertains, and transforms behavior. Tonight, we're talking about debating with students from the Antigua State College Debating Society. All right. So the first team went by. They debated a particular topic, tourism, and their impromptu topic was private schools are better than public secondary schools. Your topic, tertiary level students, should they be wearing uniforms or just choosing to wear their own clothes?
I believe that at tertiary level, students should be allowed to wear their own clothes because it begins to show them what the real world is like. Because in some instances, when you get into the world of work, you're not always going to be given a uniform. It's time for you to learn the skill of discretion, for you to know what is and isn't moderate, for you to be functioning with other people in a working space. So I think that after coming up in primary and secondary, having uniforms, it teaches you discipline, teaches you moderation, it teaches you to be respectful of yourself in the presence
It's
of
costly.
others. I mean, life is costly. Everything in this world has a cost. And if one of those costs is, spending a little extra change to make sure that you're appropriate, then,
But parents will have to be buying this clothes.
parents have a purpose, and that is it.
So you're saying parents have a purpose?
Just to take care of their children.
So it's okay for the parents to incur additional expenses to get you clothes for college when we can spend less to purchase uniforms.
So that's conditioning you, man. Okay, consider if I'm accustomed to my parents buying me, getting me these uniforms. When I go off into the world of work, like I said, it's conditioning you. Because my parents aren't going to be buying me uniform and clothes now. You don't have to get clothes for every day of the week. Learn to work. You say, okay, 1 pair of jeans a week or 2 pair of jeans, a polo, a t-shirt. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. School isn't a fashion show. It's somewhere where you go to learn. So that being said, it shouldn't be an issue considering
Interesting, Vibert. And you? I see you shaking your head.
Yes, because I do agree with my colleague, but I also would say that in some cases that uniforms, I would see them in a tertiary level institution because of course you wear them growing up through primary and secondary and they help to make you become responsible and so on because you have to make sure your uniform is right and you're following all the rules, and it's the same thing as in a tertiary level institution. So it's molding you. So now when you come into the world of work now, okay, these are the dress codes set by the work, wherever you work, and this is what I have to follow. And it's similar to being in university and these are the dress codes that you
So
should
if
follow.
you wear your regular clothes at the tertiary level, you're saying by the time you graduate to the world of work, you would have grooming down to a pat, your color coordination, knowing.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. You wearing your own clothes at a tertiary level institution, especially given the current society of young people we have, they tend to go wayward a lot with their dressing.
So you're saying stay with the uniform?
Yes, I believe that uniforms are a good thing because they help to keep us disciplined and talking about.
And they help to identify you too.
Exactly.
I like that as a parent.
And
Yeah, you're in your regular
Yeah.
clothes and some persons look so mature. People overlook them and think that they're on their way to work, when in truth and in fact, they're supposed to be at the Antigua State College. Give me the uniform any day, please. I'm sorry. You agreeing with me, uniform?
Yes, I am agreeing with you because
So Vibert, it seems, as if
College
you're on
is-
your own. Shayna is agreeing with me.
college is very costly. It is not cheap. And affording your own clothes is not cheap neither. So once you have this one set clothing for the whole semester,
You need to clap
you're
on that
good.
if you want to. Yeah.
And to also to afford for books, because you know at secondary school and primary school you get books for free. At college you have to buy your own books.
Imagine.
So and imagine that you do 4 subjects. So you have to buy a big book. You have to buy another book for each subject. And when you go into second year now all the books of them are for first and second year. Like I do MOB and management of business, and my teacher said that there's 2 books, one for first year and there's one that carry for first year and second years. And when you want to buy some second years, saying that they're using it, so you have to go to Best of Books or Cindy's Best of Books here
purchase a
purchase
brand
them,
new
and it is
book.
not cheap. So
Are you always such a considerate child?
Yes, I'm always a considerate child. So to me, keeping the uniform
Keep the
is good,
uniform.
and you also get to identify which part
Oh,
you're
that's
in.
the part I
And
like
then we have
best.
different, parts in college, aviations, business, college at A levels, nursing. So you know which department that the students are in.
And
So-
you need to know who's supposed to be in class and why you're
Yes.
not in class and why you're under the tree-playing worry when you're supposed to be in class. The benefits of debate can help you to succeed in all areas of life, not just competitions. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Debating, when you're debating, especially on a debate team, say it's like when we got our topics, we had time for preparation and so on, and we had to do our research. So that helped us to build our research skills. So like when we're doing our SBAs or even later on in life, anything we come up on, we make sure we do our research first, and we build I wouldn't want to say argument, but in the purpose of debating, you build a good argument, yes, for your presentation and for what you want to do with that topic exactly. And it also helps with you as yourself talking to others and articulating yourself, what words to use when, how to bring across what you actually want to say.
How to be persuasive. So when you're at the workplace and you know that you deserve a raise, and ain't anybody giving you a raise, you use your debating skills to let them understand the pros and the cons of of those reasons why you should get a raise. I know what I'm talking about. Debating, be persuasive. But debating can even help in your marriage, you know. Oh, yes. And in your various relationships, your friends, your parents. How many of you debate with your parents?
Yes.
Yeah. Debate, negotiate. As a result of debating, you're able to persuade them one way or the other. You're not going to the movies tonight. Why? And then, a conversation continues as to why you need to go to the movies tonight, because you know that you have someone special wanting to go to the movies with you tonight. Anyway, what skills did you bring to the 2019 Leeward Islands debate competition?
The spirit of camaraderie. I think through practicing, all of us came together as a team, more so as a family, and we were able to support one another right down to the very end, despite anything that was thrown our way. And I think that's a notable characteristic that we brought to the table.
Okay. Joshua?
I would say that we had skills both collectively and individually. Individually being that those who spoke, even so, they came with the pace, they had the pitch, they had the power, and they were able to bring themselves forward. And as you said, they were able to persuade, and I think that it was very well done. And even though we didn't win, I believe that we did our very best.
And you made an impact.
Yeah, and I would like to add another P to those P's, and I would like to say personalization, because I think each of them made the script themselves, made the script personal to them, right? And they brought it forward to the best of their ability. I could recall when Amar was presenting and he started to sing. He was the second speaker. And
Sing?
Yes.
In a debate?
Yes, and oh, it was amazing. He was skeptical about it at first, and when I saw him go up there and he started to sing, I was so proud. I was
And
like,
you guys won?
Yes, we did our
won that
first
one.
encounter.
So maybe that's one of the keys to winning a debate. Sing!
It's too needed.
Okay, so Shayna?
I say collectively too, because we helped and support each other. We did not, just leave each other behind. As we see somebody make a mistake, right away we pause. We say, okay, copy pitch for this part or pause for this part, so everything can flow, so we know that we're ready to go. Yeah.
So individuals were chosen based on their abilities, their personalities, and otherwise to debate a particular topic?
Yes, yeah, I would think so, because amongst us, there were different topics and different people had different passions for each topic.
Okay.
And from the offset, you could see, okay, that who is interested in what. And even though we're all interested in both topics, you could see different interests
Yes.
building in different areas. But I think altogether that we came together well, and our scripts were well developed, well researched, and
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you guys practice in front of a mirror? No?
we practiced in front of
we were
each
our
other.
own mirrors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were our own mirrors.
Oh, that is so special. What did you see when you look in the mirrors?
I saw everybody.
Obviously, you see the reflection of everybody, but I'm asking,
We saw faces willing to help us.
Yes.
Helping us to better ourselves, helping us to prepare for the debate, and helping us to come together as a team and a family.
So some lifelong friendships were
Yes, some
established.
lifelong, definitely.
Hands down.
Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. We are talking about debating, the skills, the takeaways, and how we can use debate as a tool not only for competition, but to help us all grow in life. Life is about debating. Life is about negotiating. Life is about using the proper words to suit a particular situation. All that is part of debating. So I do hope that you're learning something tonight. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break. So I understand that the Antigua team played a pivotal role in getting all the teams together so that everybody can feel, a sense of belonging. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, I do.
So how was it done?
Well, one of the first ways that we did this, on our bus rides home from the debates, we'd sit down, the Antigua team, myself, Shayna, and our friend Jashida, we would sit in the front of the bus and we'd ask the driver to hand us the aux cord, and we'd just start bumping soca in the bus. The first time we did it, it was just for our amusement, but then we noticed that everybody in the bus started waving their hands and singing along, and then one of the songs played.
Soca?
Yeah, soca.
No gospel? You mean after the Lord would have helped you to win the debate?
We prayed.
You prayed and then sang the soca?
As you should, as you should.
As you should? Oh. Vibert? I wonder if I should edit that, or you want the parents to hear you say
should
that.
edit
So there are special bonds that have been established. Are you still WhatsApping? And
Yes, we have a
of
group
course.
chat.
with your colleagues from abroad?
Yes.
And you guys are still
2019.
communicating?
Every
Rats,
day.
Kitts, and
Yes, every time. All the
Wherever
time.
else, Anguilla.
Anguilla, St. Martin, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua, everybody's communicating. I mean, we didn't want to leave that friendship behind. We wanted it to go further and more further.
And you know, you might meet them in
yes, some
university,
asking,
you will.
university
A lot
in
of them
first
are
year,
being
you come back next year. And I mean, the different activities that we had to, we had went to Darkwood Beach, you know, the little playground stuff that they have in the water. We had that. So all the different activities brought us together. We interact with them. We all just didn't stay at the hotel, just be on our phones or
Are
researching.
you more matured as a result of this experience?
I don't really say more much about, you know, we learn how to interact with others, not to just stay by ourselves and think, oh, the Antigua team just going to stay right there. We went out and introduced ourselves, and we, you know, they were so nice to us, and we collected their numbers, and everybody just, our friendship
So
just
it's like a
sparked.
family.
Like a family, yes.
We have one
Should we consider debating at primary school level?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It has its benefits. It holds its benefits because
So tell me about those benefits.
debating, being a debater isn't only about standing up and speaking. It's also about researching. It's also about analyzing and being able to proofread the scripts that you produce. And beyond that, you know, it teaches you soft skills like teamwork and leadership. And I think that if students in a primary school setting were, you know, given the opportunity or the channel for them to develop these skills, to foster these abilities, it would help them in the long run when they get into secondary school or college and more prepared for life, for the real world, to interact with others.
Part of the debating experience is not only debating according to scripts. How good are you at impromptu debates?
To me, I would say the key to impromptu debates would be you'd have to look at it from knowledge that you've already gained, which is why I think it's good that you occasionally read and not only read Facebook. And you should also research that you gather from doing your SBAs and in school. This helps you to build because whether you like it or not, each topic in life to me is related, and you can use information from something else to help in another topic. So in an impromptu speech, you might not know, say, direct information, but information gathered from somewhere else may indirectly help you to build your point, and using your common sense, you should be able to, you know.
So this is my impromptu topic. Backyard gardening can help you to reduce your monthly food bill.
Yes.
I agree, I
agree
totally agree.
wholeheartedly.
Papa Bird once said that every yard should have, you know, breadfruit tree. And I agree.
And you know, the Harold Level, also the Honorable Harold Level once said that
Everybody must yam.
Right.
So it only goes to show that backyard gardening does help.
I
cut
put
down
it
food
to you,
bills.
my dear students, that is not a persuasive argument.
No, it's not.
So tell me, how can backyard gardening help to reduce your monthly food spend?
Okay, well, my dad used to be a farmer, and, you know, going to the market every Saturday and buying from other people, you're putting income into their home. So once you have the backyard garden, you can just come pull up a potato, pull up a carrot from right there, and create your own salad, your own stuff. They say, and also helps to export too. You get to export your other your own vegetables and your own fruits to another country, and you get to bring
Let's
it.
not go outside. Let's not go outside the boundaries of the debate. Backyard gardening helps
I
to
will say the
reduce
first
your
point.
monthly food
Yeah.
expense.
Say the first point.
In Antigua,
You're already thinking about commercial. You have acres of land now. Yes, tell me.
in Antigua, the cost of living is relatively high, and I think we all would agree. If we can not spend the extra $5 on a pound of vegetables, and we can grow that in the back of our yard, that is 5 from 100. That leaves you at 95. So say we grow potatoes, cucumbers, and we have our carrots and so on. These little things in a little small-scale garden, and you have say $5 for each. So I called about 5 vegetables a while ago. So we subtract $50 from that $100. That's like $50 now. That's
That
more
you can
economic,
save.
right? So you don't have to spend so much. And it's also more healthier because a lot of these foods that we buy now, they have a lot of artificial products. So not only we spend on the food, but we end up spending health-wise. So I don't want to touch that so much, but you know, it would help to cut down our income. We know how food come from, and we eating fully natural, so you know, we'd spend less.
Vibert?
Well, as my colleagues just said, it's cheaper and it's healthier because, you know, some of the foods that we import and buy and that we go to the supermarket and get, you know, they're loaded with steroids which aren't good for us. But, you know, if we just take the time out to just plan a few things and we reap those benefits, we're going to get healthier food, we get free produce, all it takes is just a little sweat and hard work. And it's better for us in the long run because we're able to provide for our families without spending that extra dollar. We're able to get healthier foods without having to go put these into our bodies and get sick, you know, along these lines. So,
All right. Well, thank you very much for staying with us on the Paula Show. Coming up in our last segment is the head of the A-Levels department, Nigel Williams-Buffon, and Mr. Simon and Aquila. And I was told Aquila is the star of the show. I can't wait to meet Aquila. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Stay with us, please. Aquila, you debated?
Yes, I did.
You had a good time.
Of course.
What's a memorable moment?
If you watch the debate, it came down to the rebuttal. The first speaker, he went up and he rebutted first. So then I was the last person to speak.
Okay.
So he said something, and I quote, "My opponent's argument was as shaky as the stage we're standing on today." End of quote. And then he went on to say, if my worthy opponents were listening to my debate last night, they would have heard I said, you know. And I got mad because the part that I'm about to say was not actually in my rebuttal. But I said it anyway.
I'm
No.
on pins and needles already.
I said, Madam Moderator, my worthy opponents asked if I was listening to their debate last night. And yes, I was. When the worthy opponent rebutted for a minute and a couple seconds.
Oh, my Lord.
And
he had 3 minutes?
he had 5.
5 minutes? And he rebutted for 1.5.
No, not even a half. 1 minute and a couple seconds.
Wow, how did you guys feel?
I felt good. I felt good. But after I said it, I realized, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Girl, you debated well. Do you agree that the debate topics that were featured are issues that affect our daily lives?
I believe so. This year we had some hot topics. We had the CCJ.
So like Wendy Williams, hot topics.
I won't pass out on the stage, but let's stay focused.
CCJ.
We had the CCJ.
Yeah.
We spoke about tourism. I think the hottest topic of them all was the LGBTQ. Other people say RS to you, but the LGBTQ topic, I think that was a bold move. It was unsettling first because, of course, in the Caribbean, that's not a topic that we like to touch. But despite people's views, both teams had to come up and prepare.
It must have been difficult for you to choose the best debaters from that cadre of really, exceptional debating abilities.
Yes. Well, it wasn't a unilateral decision. Ms. Buffon and I, we worked together definitely to select from the group. I would like to say that all of the students from the debate team are exceptional. I feel like in some instances it was like choosing fruit.
Yes.
You choose a fruit that's right for the circumstance at that time.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that an apple is better than a banana. It's just the people are eating bananas right now, and that's what will work.
And the banana is more tasty in the smoothie than the apple. I totally understand you.
like that analogy.
So Aquila might have been good for a particular topic because of her persuasive skills and her passion, but somebody else might have been better for another topic. Oh my, but even then,
It's difficult because I know that
Yeah.
the students are emotionally involved. They
Yes.
want to go up and represent.
but everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go up. But I don't feel like they were robbed though, because I feel like the value of debate, the majority of the value doesn't come from the actual day. It comes from the preparation.
Yes,
It's because
yes,
there's so much skills you gather from preparing.
yes.
You know, the students earlier, they spoke about the camaraderie, but there's so much more than that. Like there's research skills. You become very critical
Yes.
in terms of being a critical thinker.
Yes,
Because we would critique what they come up with very harshly.
yes.
So when they spend 4 hours from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. working on something,
No, two.
Your writing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
because you have to
honestly.
ensure that the words follow a particular pattern so they are not tongue twisters.
And don't forget, you know, like you said in the, just a while ago, some of the students, they came in, or we all came in with different perspectives, and it was good.
How was the overall experience?
To me, or for me, I loved it. It was stressful. A lot of our debaters got sick, and I think that's because of the wear and tear. We had them there until 1, 2 o'clock. But we had to, because we had to write scripts, and it started with one person getting sick, but because we're all in the same space, we all ended up getting sick. But what I liked the most is, even though one person was sick, we all picked each other up.
Mr. Simon, how important is a rebuttal?
there's a number of benefits that I think they take away. Now, I feel like the standards of the students are now much higher. Now, before, maybe they were doing average work, but now after they realize that there's value in improving and improving and improving, because we were so critical, I would hope that we help to elevate their work ethic. So now, when they're doing whatever they find themselves involved in, they will do so at a much higher level. Another benefit is that they're shown that working hard towards a goal, making sacrifices, paid off. When we won the first night, it was just euphoria. Like, I remember driving back and we were just shouting out, "We won! We won!"
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
As we left AUA, I wind the window down to the security guard, "We won!" It was euphoria because we seen them work hard and they got sick. And I remember Amar and a different person that was sick, and he was so sick he couldn't even talk. And he had something wrapped around his throat because the AC was bothering him 5 minutes before he was debating. But the determination to still go up there and sing, although you're sick, it showed that if they transfer these skills to life, I think all of them would do a
They'll be
great
successful.
job. And even the other students who didn't get selected, they were not upset and mopey, but they supported one another. They said, "Look, can I
Teamwork.
press your uniform for you?" It was amazing. It was amazing to watch them come together. And I feel like now that they have that, they're equipped. They're equipped to do so many aspects of life. and I'm proud.
Akila?
I think that this debating season has created friendships that will last for a very long time.
Maybe marriages?
Maybe even forever. I mean,
You mean marriages?
yeah. No.
Yeah. What?
No. I mean friendships like a family.
You guys seem as if you experienced a lot of fun, but tell me about the rebuttal, because that's a huge part of any debate.
Yeah, so the rebuttals help them to think in like a logical and coherent way and on the spot. And I feel like there's a lot of value in the rebuttals because really that's where the student gets to shine. With the prepared script, you don't know, you don't know, you just don't know.
Yes, you're not able to accurately judge their ability because sometimes it's teamwork.
Sometimes it's somebody else writing the script.
I didn't want to say
But
that.
I'll say it
That's what I
because
said, you don't know.
I think that's
Yeah.
the reason why the rebuttals are normally so weak. I think a lot of the other teams, they have people writing the script, like professionals writing the script,
Yes.
right? And when you have somebody writing the script, the students actually do not do the work. You got a script and you're just reciting. So when it comes down to rebuttal, you don't know what's in the script. You haven't done the research. So
It's not
It's not
familiar.
familiar.
Yeah.
You can't pull things out.
Looking forward to 2020.
Always. We have to bring it home. One way or another,
It
we're
will be
bringing it home.
Antigua again hosting.
No, we're going to Montserrat.
Montserrat.
So we're just going to take it and bring
You
it across
must
the
be
ferry.
excited about
Always.
that. Well, guys, I want to thank you very much for coming to the Paula Show tonight. It was a great experience being with successful young people. I just enjoy them coming to the Paula Show on every occasion. And we also want to thank Epicurean for this beautiful cake.
Thank you.
Amen. Are we going to be eating this cake tonight?
Yes.
Shayna.
We won.
So it's time for the party, guys. Let me hear a shout for the party. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on another occasion. Good night.
The Paula Show is